Mr. Bond, 255-8319 and 8318. When you come to court, you come dressed appropriately, not in half shirts, dude. You're not going to a club.
I'm sorry, I
You
don't have that
understand?
much clothes. Yes, sir. Understand.
Why did you miss court?
Not valid transportation.
I will reinstate your bond today, but I'm not going to do this again. If you continue to miss court, it's just not going to go well for you. Do you understand? One, get out of jail free card. That's it. You stand charged with 2 cases. You're charged with criminal mischief. You're also charged with assault of a family member. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Did you get the cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
On April 2nd, 2025, Harris County Council's officer dispatched from assault in progress. The officer arrived and observed the complaining witness and the assault fighting. The officer made contact with the complaining witness and stated that he and the defendant were on a dating show. The complaining witness stated that they got into an argument inside the gas station when the defendant punched him in the face, causing pain, and proceeded to punch him several more times before the complaining witness started to fight back the defendant. The second complaining witness stated that he searched for him. Items and substances.
Okay. How much, as far as criminal mischief is concerned? Because I have here, it's a class A. So you really over $750 worth of.
I think you said one moment. There were multiple display shelves and stands that were damaged, totaling approximately $1,800 in value.
Mr. Bond, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm trying to find a job, trying to get myself together.
Where are you living?
Trying to mentally figure myself out as well.
Where are you living?
Everywhere.
This is not a good way to go through life, Mr. Bond.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're begging for trouble. When you're living on the streets, it's an extremely hard life that ends nowhere good. Who do you have in your life that can help you out? You have mom, dad, anyone?
No, my dad lives in Arkansas now. My mom passed away. I have my best friend every now and then. She could help me out.
Not dad. Why not dad?
He's
All
weird.
right. So I'm going to appoint your lawyer today. I don't want to use alcohol. I don't want you to use any dope. And I'm telling you, I'm going to test you. You need to understand this, that you probably at this juncture in your life have no one in this world that is willing to probably even pony up $100 to get you out of jail. You are out because I gave you, or we gave you a PR bond. If you don't get a PR bond, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this thing is over with. And I'm telling you, it takes damn near 9 months just to get a 911. So imagine, you can be stuck in there for a long time. All I'm asking you to do, don't use, don't be a danger to my streets, and don't have contact with this complaining witness. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you need resources, a place to stay, food, you know, devices, we can help you out. All you have to do is ask. But I'm not going to be understanding if you sit here, start picking up cases, you start going out there using all kind of crazy ass dope. It's not going to happen. You understand? Make good decisions, because if you don't,
Right.
okay, so don't worry about conditions. He'll be with Fleischer. Okay. So Vic, do you mind reaching out to the MAC phone, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you sign a receipt, Victoria. You were going to meet with Fleischer for your bond conditions. Then I'll have you take your seat in the jury box while I find your lawyer. Please. Mr. Badon, come up. Not only have you continually failed and are always late to court, you failed to repeatedly appear in this court. And I now have your bond set at 5,003. Goes with you. Enough is enough. You can't keep doing it. You can't just come when you want to come. We have court dates. Give you a lawyer. You can't just do what you want to do.
Transportation issues.
I'll appoint your lawyer today if you don't have one.
Judge, how you plead guilty or not guilty?
You know, it really is a shame that we have to damn near beg for some people to do anything to get a dismissal. You have literally had this case open since 2023 and an offer to get this case dismissed for doing one simple thing is getting registration on a vehicle. And just that would have gotten this case dismissed. And here we are, 2 years later, nothing has happened but the multiple non-appearances. You may not remember this tomorrow or the next day, but one day you can say, "Damn, why did I not get this done?" You know, now you're pleading guilty to this tampering case and it's going to end up going on your record. And it's going to be that for the rest of your life. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. Do you understand? You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement, Mr. Badon. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty to an offense, it will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. Do you understand? How do you plead to this offense of tampering with a government record? I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement of 9 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 4 days that you've done. I'm going to roll your court costs so you won't owe anything. I hope in life, if you ever pick up a criminal case again, that you take it seriously. We don't ask for much here. When you show up, when you do things, good things happen, man. Good luck.
Judge, may I be excused?
Thanks.
Okay.
You speak English?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Perez, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You ready?
Judge, I don't think I got that cause.
I'll give it to you. 255-9272. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On April 9th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer, he was on patrol when he observed a vehicle with illegal windshield tint and the front windshield traveling, down the road. The law enforcement officer conducted a traffic stop.
Did we not have this exact one? Was it like yesterday or the day before? Same thing, really?
I'm not sure about the illegal
It
window.
was tint and then but there was, on that one, there was something else. Okay, anyways, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I lost one. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant who was identified by a section driver's license and observed a strong odor of marijuana emanating from the vehicle and his person. Law enforcement officer immediately detained the defendant and asked the defendant if they were presenting marijuana in the vehicle. And the defendant admitted to having half a blunt and a pistol in his glove compartment in the vehicle. Law enforcement officer conducted a proper cause search, which resulted in the finding of a Glock firearm located in the glove compartment and .30 ounces of marijuana. Marijuana in the firearm, we're in the evidence care custody. Yes. And that's.
I find it conclusory as well. What does illegal window tint mean? How is it illegal? Why? You know, it's completely conclusory. Is that the only reason for the stop?
That is the only reason I have to stop here.
Okay. Mr. Perez,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that there's no probable cause to go forward in your case. When you have illegal substances in your car, you are rolling probable cause. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Probably. Be careful out there. You get one life. You start racking up convictions, it's not going to go well for you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Take a seat for me, please.
Morning, Judge. I have a plea, last name Bowles.
Okay. Do you mind bringing them up? Why are we doing this?
That looks better.
This sucks. You just want to end up with a conviction on your record? Is that what you want to do?
She bomb prohibited for almost 2 years.
Your Honor, yes, there was a PTI offer. She got bombed already.
How many times?
It was for over a year. She got picked up on a traffic stop. I believe it was January of 23.
You said what I'm doing with my life?
Yeah.
I got a job. I'm gonna go back to school.
Baloney. Kiss it all goodbye. Not with a conviction, not with an evading conviction. You might as well just quit everything. When you end up with conviction on your record, you continually hose yourself. Not only that, this is the one that's an enhanceable offense, meaning you pick up another one of these cases, you'll be charged with a felony offense for the rest of your life. I'm not taking. No. How old are you? I'm not doing it. No. Shoot, ruin her life at 18? I'm not gonna do it.
What's the
I
alternative?
don't know. I'm big.
Oliver. Oliver.
You know, sometimes we have to save people from themselves because you're your own worst enemy. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
What do you want to do with the rest of your life?
You said what?
It's your life. You have your whole life ahead of you. And, you know, you're going nowhere fast. You've failed to appear here at least three. I mean,
It was twice in the original.
they should have tried to keep it on.
I can't hear you say it again.
They should have tried to keep it on.
Probation's not gonna keep it off the record, and they didn't offer a deferred.
You still, would you still,
Based on the court saying,
what about this, the other one?
Judge, I just don't feel comfortable with PTI. We offered that, she took off after we offered PTI. I just don't feel comfortable with PTI.
You know, the thing is that you had this great offer, like when you first got here, where had you done like a rinky-dink class, maybe just a tiny bit of community service, they would have dismissed the case. But you've been gone for again a year. You've taken off multiple times, and it's like we have to beg you to get a dismissal on this case. Do you see something wrong with that?
I didn't have to beg you to come. I had to be in court twice. The first one, I didn't have to appear for court. The second one, I didn't know I had to be in court until the day of at 8:30 something a.m. And I was at school taking a STAR test, district test at school. It was raining that day. I don't know. Past that, I didn't know I had a warrant. Since then, I've been having a job. I graduated high school. I've been having a job for all these for the year and a half I've been here. I haven't got in no trouble. Yes, I'm still working. I have a full-time job. I just got off of work 7:30 today.
Let's see what else we can do. You know, I'm willing to give you as much time as you need, Aaron.
I'll talk to her.
But I don't want you to fail now at 18 and hurt yourself worse than you are. It's really hard living in today's society as a minority. And when you start racking up convictions, all you're doing is you're killing yourself. You know, when people see these, when you try to get a job, you try to get a loan, you try to get an apartment, they're going to use this against you all day. And it's not going to help. I'm willing to give you as much time as you need. I don't want to hold it against you now that you've been gone. I'm willing to give you time. Talk about it with Eric, see what we can do. But you need to think about your future because you only get one shot at life. You don't get multiple times. We all make mistakes. I get it. The idea is that you learn from this now so it doesn't continue to happen. You and I have had this conversation now. So if it happens again where you take off, because I'm going to notate everything we're talking about, you take off on me again, you start acting or doing crazy stuff out there, I will have absolutely no sympathy for you. But I'm trying to reach out to you now so you don't ruin what you have left. This life is about one thing. It's about money. And if you have it, it's a great life. And you get that with knowledge, with education. If you don't have money, this life sucks. Trust me. You understand? Take your time.
Speak for himself. But we have come to A tentative agreement.
I think at the minimum, defer is, or unless you want to do something else. What are you thinking, Stinking?
Can we get one reset to see if it shows up? I will reconsider now on PTI.
Can you mark it so that, okay.
I watched it.
Come up, ma'am. Are you mom?
Yes.
Come on up. Thank you so much for coming. They need a little bit of time to think about whether they're going to re-offer the intervention program for her. It's a great deal where you do just a little bit of work, the case gets dismissed, doesn't go on your record. They want a little bit of time to make sure that she's going to come back. She's going to take it seriously. If she does, they're going to reconsider the offer. How much time do you guys want? You tell me how much. Done. Okay, we're going to set this off for 2 weeks. I don't want you to use alcohol. I don't want you to use drugs. I don't want you to be in possession of any weapons. I just want you to work and be productive. And if you do, and if you show up to court, good things happen. Do you understand? I'm not asking for much. All right, so let's set off 2 weeks. We'll have you come back and then hopefully, all right? Okay. What's up?
I got Mr. Jenkins's TRAS results.
Oh, how is Mr. Jenkins?
Uh-oh. Like we have to talk every time we have some business with him. No, this way.
What happened?
He got, they recommended thinking for a change, anger management. State has offered a 1-year deferred with the appropriate conditions that go with that. They would also help him find shelter during this time.
And watch your step, it's a Lulu.
However, Mr. Jenkins was asking me about a time served. And so he has 2 months of credit since he's been in, I guess, totaling the previous attorney that was on the case and then my time with him. And then.
Time served just to get out, right?
Well, time
Yes or
served
no?
because
Yes or no?
Just to get out, just to get out.
I don't just want to get out. I feel like I learned my lesson. When I committed the crime at first, I didn't know that I would be charged with anything. I didn't know that I would be sitting in jail, but now I know that I have consequences for my actions. I can go about my life differently. I feel like I learned my lesson.
So why not probation? Probation, if you complete it.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like
Well, I
Deferred is a type of probation that if you complete it, you don't have a conviction.
because I feel like probation, you're not really free. A lot of people go on probation and they're back in jail because
The only reason they would be in jail is because they don't comply. We don't put people in jail for shits and giggles, man. It's, you have rules that you have to follow.
I
When you
know.
follow rules, when you follow the rules and when you do what you're supposed to do, good things happen. And the good thing with you is if you complete it and they end up not as convictions, you may be able to seal it in the future so that no one sees it. Well, the general public at least, but you just pleading guilty, you'll now end up with a third conviction. And they're dangerous convictions, right? They're terroristic threats. What do you think future employers, people who want to give you a job, people who want you to stay at a shelter, they're not going to let you stay with these kind of priors, man. Every time you pick up a case, it's going to hurt you in a certain way. It may not be now. It may not be tomorrow. It may be in 2 years when you least expect it and when you really need whatever you're trying to do.
the reason I want to get time served is because I don't believe I'll be picking up another case. I know how to not pick up case. I know how to not break the law.
If I were to let you out today, would you do the deferred?
I would, but I'm asking to have a
Have the
different
same
option.
thing. If I give you the deferred today, I'm going to let you out. If you take the time served, you will also get out.
Yes.
Either way, you will get out today.
Okay. If I had a decision between the two, I would take time served.
You wouldn't want the probation to try to keep it off your record?
No, sir.
Your Honor, I think I didn't hear, we have offered time served.
Huh?
We have offered time served.
He's probably got enough back time regardless.
Just
So, how much back time does he got? Please. Yeah, Jenkins.
I didn't check his credits, I don't know.
It's got to be at least a month, I would say, at least.
And if it's 60, that would be on the class B.
He has 69 days, or Blake
Boom.
Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, 69.
Being short-sighted and not considering your future can really hurt you, Mr.
I am
Jenkins.
considering my
Let him
future.
finish, brother. Please, Judge.
I am considering my future. I know exactly what I'm gonna do when I get out. I have a whole entire plan. I already told you that I want to do solar sales, and to get a job in solar sales, I'm pretty sure that these convictions won't hurt my chances of getting on a team. So that's why I'm not too worried about the convictions. And I know that I'm not gonna pick up any more convictions.
I'm okay offering him the deferred and letting him out,
I know,
giving him a PR bond so he can try to complete the deferreds. I'm okay giving you a PR bond today to give you the chance to finish or try to do this probation to keep it off your record. I
But
will
not
give
time
it
served.
either way. If you want the time served, you can have it. It's not, it's on you. But once you get that conviction, there's no turning back.
I understand. And then I'll be let out today if I do the time served.
I'm going to let you out either way. But I'm telling you, it's a bad idea to do the time served. And I think that it's a better idea for you to do the deferred adjudication, probation, to try to keep it off your record.
I'd rather do the time served, sir.
Okay?
I mean, there,
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink, as the saying goes.
just for the record, Judge, the reason why I said it's a deferred, because the probation was interpreted as one way for him. I told him about the deferred, the super way, we called it supervision, in order to get his record potentially sealed and potential benefits that could happen with that, perhaps an early termination if he was going along the great path and following whatever had been recommended to him by the TRES. Talking about his future and everything associated with having now 2 convictions on his record if he takes the time served, what that implicates and everything like that. So we had that discussion, but I just wanted to reiterate, he wanted to
Were
ask me
these,
some question.
with the people in the terroristic threats, were they just random people?
At a gym, Your Honor.
Say it again?
He was at a gym.
At a gym. Okay, so both are just random.
The first terroristic threat was any member of his brother. So it's a class A. Second one.
Which one are you dismissing
Class A.
against the household?
It's not.
You need to understand that if you continue with the same course of conduct within a certain amount of time, they can also hit you with a felony. You could potentially be looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. So I will do whatever you want to do, Mr. Jenkins. If you want to do the probation, which I think what you should do to try to keep it off your record, I'll take off all the fees. You won't owe any money. Is it 2 classes?
Yes, sir.
Just 2 classes? And that's it.
For a year?
I'll take you off early. You know, if you do well, after some time, show me that you're not using any dope or alcohol, I'll take you off early.
Time served.
Okay?
I'll go ahead and offer. I did not realize he had timed out, so that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll write it up.
Okay.
So we'll bring him back tomorrow to do it?
No, do it right now.
Are we doing that today?
Right now. Yeah. There's no sense in holding it for that. I don't agree with what you're doing today, but far be it for me to really tell you what to do. The only other thing that I'm going to try to counsel you on is it really, really sucks that you have somehow alienated everyone that cares for you in your life. Your father, you know, when he was here the other day, you know, there was no one that was willing to take you in. That really sucks. If I were you, I would try to do anything and everything possible to try to mend those relationships, because on your own, at your age, with no education, no job, no money. There's only so far you can get in life. That's why you have parents. That's why you have family to kind of help you out when you're down. But when you alienate them by continually doing things to mess up the relationship, that it's not good. When you get out, try to mend those relationships so that they can somehow be back in your life and use them as a positive, role model, or try to get some help. Tell them that you need help so that they will help you or somehow, but mend that relationship because it's going to kill you. The last thing we want to see is you going out there becoming so desperate. You do something that lands you with a felony or you're looking at 25 to life. Really, life's too short to spend. You now stand charged with 2 counts of terroristic threat. The agreement that you have worked out is they're going to dismiss one of those terroristic threats in exchange for your plea on the other one. The agreement is 180 days in jail, credit for the 71 days that 69, right?
One case was 71, the other one was 69.
Do you want me to put, is this against the advice of counsel, or what do you think?
Well, Judge, I just wanted to put that I can suggest, I told him how this would, one thing I did want to put, for you to explain to him is this cannot be expunged off his record. He had a question about that. I told him it could not be.
I've been continually telling you, when you plead guilty, it goes on your record and it will be a conviction for life. You can never take this off. You can never buyer's remorse saying, you know what, I want to return this because I don't like it. It's not targeted. You sure you want to do this?
Sorry.
And yeah, it was against our recommendation.
I am willing to let you out today to do the probation, to keep it off your record. No. Right. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. There's no turning around and fighting this. You also need to understand that from now on, any new cases that you pick up, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Also, you have no one in this life that is going to bond you out. So when you get out there, if you make a boneheaded decision, you will be stuck like Chuck, like you see now. So make good decisions. If you want anything, come back. I have Shatori here, who's amazing that we can get you resources, place to stay, food to eat, a tablet, a cell phone. If you want something, come back and we can help you out. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Good luck. Or how do you plead, Mr. Jenkins? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Good luck, Mike.
Pills, meth, cocaine, alcohol, and it's literally been over and over, and it's been over. And now while she's on this probation, she tests positive for meth.
The night she tested positive for amphetamines, meth, and opiates, and on the March 5th, she tested positive for THC. She's also had skips on her device, 12 and 5 in January, 8 in December.
So I really think, and I warned her at the outset when she got on the probation that it was a problem, that I was going to put her in treatment. And I think that this is truly the only appropriate way to go forward, because we gave her the opportunity to do this on her own, and we multiple times, and it's just not happening.
I have signed up for treatment, sir.
Ours is better. And I think that that's really the only appropriate course of action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to amend your condition. I think that that's, the evaluation is to do who a.
Yes, go ahead, I'm sorry.
In terms of a treatment, Your Honor, is it that you are wanting it to be jail-based treatment, or could it be facility?
No, I used to use,
It's too late. When we open ourselves to Tascasita, it's a 3 to 6 month program based on how to respond.
Your Honor, I have my father at home by himself, Your Honor. who's, I have.
Gave you the opportunity, ma'am.
May I speak to you
Not gonna-
openly? Just for a second, Your Honor?
No, I've heard it before. You've told it to me time and again, and I've heard it time and again. And I'm sorry, but, we gave you the opportunity. You're testing positive for these.
Please.
So, Your Honor, I think when I spoke to her before, the only thing that we were talking about in terms of possible failed drug tests was a test that I showed from last month for marijuana. And so her explanation for that, Your Honor, is that she has broken her arm in 2 different places and pain management issues. Until we were here now, I'm only hearing about these other things. The only reason I bring it up, Your Honor, is because if she is having some type of issue with substances, I support treatment. I just question whether the jail-based treatment is the only possible option. Like, could she go into custody and be transferred from there into a facility where she has to be inpatient for 120 days or however many days you're requiring? Does it just have to be who, I guess is what I'm asking.
Here's the thing. Every time that I've done a TRAS on someone and have deviated from it, we've paid for it dearly. They've either picked up a new DWI, a felony, and I really take homage in the TRASs because I tell you, every time we deviate from it and I acquiesce to something that you guys want or defense wants, we pay for it dearly and they end up in a worse position. And so that's why this has been an ongoing battle for 2 years. We've had an ongoing battle with Ms. Gonzalez for 2 years where it's been nonstop testing for this or testing for that. And I can show you the proof. I've got the proof. And now while she's on bond, she picks up a felony PCS. She's testing positive for these things,
I would just add the felony PCS was dismissed.
I get it.
It's my medication.
Within 5 days of it being filed. So
I understand. I get it. But I really want to do it with the TRS. I'm sorry, man, but that's what we're
I
going
can't
to do.
leave my father, sir.
These are things that you think about when you're out there in the free world. We gave you the opportunity, Ms. Gonzalez. I'm not going to argue with you.
No, sir, I'm not trying to argue with you, sir. I don't think the drug tests you're not, Your Honor, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to say you're not looking at it correctly, but maybe you're not remembering, sir. I haven't
So
drank
maybe
in
she wants a
15
motion,
years.
maybe she wants a hearing on revoking her probation.
Not revoking it.
So he's
Not revoking.
No,
You're just changing the conditions.
what I'm saying is, my drug tests, sir, those are my medications that you're calling out, sir. The Adderall.
Okay, stop.
Yes, ma'am.
Just stop. I'm sorry.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Not going to argue. No, we tried this.
Can you please tell? His name is Steven. He's around the corner. That they're putting me in jail. How long am I going to be?
It's all up to you. If
Your Honor, I will
all
do
the
anything.
treatment,
I can't take my dad's not going to have anyone to help him, sir. If we
I'm not gonna
please
argue with
look.
you, ma'am.
No, sir, I'm not trying to argue.
I had the opportunity.
I haven't drank in 15 years,
Thank you,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
You have to look at my stuff. It's not right, man.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 1 year in jail to be probated for 18 months. Has he done the TRAS yet?
Yes, ma'am.
No. You will do what's called a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. You must fulfill these conditions. If you don't, a motion to revoke will be filed. You will be put into custody and we are going to have a hearing on whether to revoke your probation or not. It'll be DWI repeat offender education class, 2 victim impact panels, no drugs, no alcohol, no breath test refusal, meaning that if you're pulled over, an officer asks you to submit a breath test while you're on this probation, you must do it. A guardian interlock, 30 hours of community service, and 5 days in Harris County Jail as a condition. Is this how you understand it?
Yes, sir.
You know, the more important thing to me, Mr. Garcia Ibarra, is you're young. What are you, 35, 37?
33.
33 years old. Your history sucks. It really freaking sucks. You know, DWI dismissed in 22. DWI pled to in 23. Fleeing and eluding, interfering, and now open a DWI second and 2 felony assaults of a police officer. What's it gonna take, man? Is it a 25-year sentence? Do you know what happens next time you get a DWI?
Yes.
What happens?
It's a felony in jail.
2 and in the penitentiary. That's what happens next time. And with your record, as bad as it is, it doesn't have to be where you're stumbling, stupid, fall-ass drunk on the road. The mere smell, in and of itself, they're going to look you up. Every single time you get pulled over, they're going to harass and harangue you. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what time of day, where you're going. Every time you get pulled over with your record, they're going to harass you. So why give them the evidence? Why give them, of all the aches and pains, one button and $50 anywhere you want to go in this life? Do you understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty to this offense, like I said, it'll go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. How do you plead to this offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty, and I'm going to sentence you to 1 year in jail. I'll probate that for 18 months. You will do a repeat offender DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels, guardian analog, no drugs, alcohol, 30 hours community service. Do you have any children?
Sir.
If you do a parenting class, I will consider the community service waived. Five days to begin April 28th. You must report by 6 p.m. If you fail to report, this deal is off the table and you're looking at an entire year in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The other thing is this, Mr. Garcia Ibarra, I have to somehow get a hold of you so that you understand that we mean business. And there's 2 ways that we do that. One is by jail time, which now you're obviously not doing. The other is by hitting you where it really hurts. And that's what we're going to do. I'm now going to hit you with a surcharge that you will be required to pay. And if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. I don't know what else we have to try to get your attention, so that I'm hoping that this is it before you pick up a felony offense. It's a $6,000 surcharge, and then how much your court costs?
What was the driver's license before? A year ago?
1 year.
Okay, give me one second.
I will give you plenty of time to pay for it. We will give you a 2-year to 3-year payment plan. So that will give you enough time. If you have any problems, you can come talk to us. But the worst possible thing you can do in this life is pick up another DWI, pick up another case, or abscond, take off. Because if you do that, that's just, it's a guaranteed motion to revoke. You understand?
Sir.
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to this agreement. For what it's worth, I usually waive these on almost every first DWI. You're now working your 3rd. So at some point, like I said, we've got to, you don't pick up a felony or kill someone.
No, I just want to mention that I was talking to him about his finances, and my intention was to ask you to waive it, and I understand
I
you've made your
normally
ruling.
do, Ms. Casanova, on all first, But this is a third alcohol contact, you know. I'll waive his supervisory fees with regard to them, but I want to get his attention. And I think that probably the only way to do it is with money. And like I said, if you don't pay it, your butt's going to sit $100 for 1 day in jail. You're probably going to owe somewhere in the neighborhood of around $6,500 now.